Hi, I'm Dave. This is Old Dad Studio. Today is the day of reckoning. And if I wasn't so hoarse and sick, that actually would have sounded much better. I could have made that thing blast, but my darn voice just is not cooperating today. But for the day of reckoning, we're going to look inside my little black book. And I'm going to show you what's inside. it, it, it's it's not that salacious. Oh man, I'm kind of squirrely today. I don't know what the deal is, but today is March 31st. We made it to the end of March. Tomorrow is April 1st, which is when I guess this video will be posted as the morning of April 1st. So happy? I can't even speak English. How am I ever going to learn Portuguese? Happy Fool's Day. April. Happy April Fool's Day. There we go. I got it out. For crying out loud. So I don't know if it's April Fool's Day that has me squirrely or not, but I guess I'm feeling a little squirrely, even though I still am sick. If you've been following along on the daily vlog, a couple of days ago I just wasn't feeling it. I was kind of feeling down, low energy, unmotivated. The next day I realized I actually had a bug and I'm sick. Today I thought it was getting better, but now, as you can hear from my voice, it is getting worse. So I do apologize for the voice. We'll make it through this. Don't worry, but you're gonna have to listen to my old scratchy voice today. Now, for today's vlog, what we are going to be doing is wrapping up the month of March for my goal setting. So, for those of you who've been following along on the vlog, you probably know my little black book is not like anything special. It's where I've been writing my daily goals and where I've been keeping track of them. And now, as I've been doing this, I've actually kind of developed a system because I'm kind of a data guy, right? So that's what I do for my job, and I really like looking at data and progress. And so just writing things down or having a daily journal, which I have tried before, I've tried having a daily journal, it doesn't do all that much for me. I really want to see a visual, and I want to be able to see some progress shown in the data as I go along. And so as I was writing this, I had some thoughts on how I could create some data and make it trackable, and then that way I could see my results month by month by month if I'm going to keep going with it. Now, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I think one of the things that I had said is I was going to try this technique until the end of March, and then I would make a decision on whether I'm going to keep going or not. I am going to keep going. I kind of like this. I've gotten in a rhythm of it now. I like the fact that it's giving me a long-term goal to stretch for, and that if I miss a day in the grand scheme of a long-term goal, it's not as devastating as if I was just doing monthly goal after monthly goal after monthly goal and missing them. So I think I do like this technique. I'm gonna keep going. We'll see how we do in the month of April. But for the month of March, I thought what we do is I'll give you a wrap up. I'll explain what I'm doing. I'll show you how I created metrics around it. And then we'll see where I'm at for the end of the month. All right, well, why don't we get into it? And I'll open up my little black book for you. All right, I'm sorry if that joke is already old. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's take a look. All right, now this plan is a 5-year plan. And what you do is you set 3 goals that you want to see or that you would like to achieve within 5 years. And then you track to those on a daily basis. And so my 3 long-term 5-year goals are, number 1, I want to reach my goal weight, which right now I have it set at 190 pounds. We'll see if that stays, but I would like to lose a good amount of weight and reach a goal weight. Along with this comes being healthier and being able to hike more and do all kinds of fun things. But really the driver there is I want to lose weight and I want to hit my goal weight of, right now it's at 190 pounds. I would like to replace my income with social media. And this This one might be a stretch goal because right now for social media, I actually have two YouTube channels. One that is inactive. We haven't posted there. It's a family camping channel, and we haven't posted there in a couple of years. And then I have this one, which I just fired back up and started using as of the first of the year of 2025. So I've been daily vlogging since January 1st. But income wise, I don't make any income at all. This right now is $0. So in order for me to replace my income with social media, this is really a stretch goal. Even over 5 years, I think we'll have to see what happens, but that's goal number 2. Number 3 is to have a house in Portugal. So we have family that lives in Portugal. We would like to visit them more often. We would like to enjoy Portugal at a more long-term basis rather than just going there for a week or 2 weeks once a year. And that hasn't even happened recently. So we would like to spend a lot more time with our family over there and in Portugal in general. And so at some point, we'd like to own a home in Portugal. So those are the 3 high-level goals that I have. Now, what the process is each day, you then come up with 3 goals that you can do that day to support your long-term goal. So as an example, again, on March 30th, my 3 daily items that I could do to reach my goal weight is have a high-protein diet. Now, people agree, they disagree with this particular plan. This is something new, again, that I am trying for the month of March. I have done this before. It seems to work for me, so I am once again implementing a high-protein diet. No sugary sweets. So that comes along with that high-protein diet. Sugary sweets are my nemesis, and I have a hard time with sugary sweets. Also with soda. So you'll see some of these, I have no soda, but this for particular, yesterday it was no sugary sweets. And then also no breads. So those 2 things right along with that high-protein diet. I did make them, and you'll see when I write down my goals, I put a little hashtag, and then when I achieve my goal, I either put a green dot, or if I don't, I put a red dot. So you'll see I've got 3 green dots yesterday for my goal weight. For replacing my income with socials, my 3 items that I had for yesterday was make a daily vlog, which I've been doing every single day for this year so far, so I don't have a problem making that one. Work on viewer engagement, and so I've been making sure that I answer all the comments that I get, that you all leave me, and thank you very much for leaving me comments. That's fabulous. I love the viewer engagement that we have been getting. Also working on things like what can I do for future community posts on my YouTube channels. I've got a couple of polls out there right now, but I would like to enhance that area of my YouTube channel as well. And then review my analytics for any patterns that I see. And now my site is very, very small. At this point, I don't have tons of analytics, but anything that I can derive from the analytics would be helpful. So those are the 3. I did not do this yesterday, so that one has a red dot. And then as an example for the house in Portugal, I'm working on my Portuguese, my word of the day, which has a couple of videos already around it and what's happening there, but my word of the day, I didn't do a word of the day yesterday, so I have a red dot. No non-essential spending, I have a green dot for that one because I didn't buy anything that was non-essential yesterday. Now, I will say this goal right here, in our family, this is only me, so I'm not counting this as a family goal, so this is only me making no non-essential purchase or spending. So, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And then my last one was watch one Portuguese video. And what I've been doing is I've been trying to find Portuguese videos on YouTube about people who are expats who have moved to Portugal, what their experience was, and how they did it. As I find them, then I watch them. Now, I didn't have time yesterday to actually watch one. Plus, I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking for any of them on YouTube. So I missed that one as well. So you see I've got some green dots, and I've got some red dots. Now, what I do is I'll do this the day after, typically. And so I did this morning. Today is the 31st. So on the 31st, I came through and I looked at the 30th. I scored everything with my red and green dots. And then you'll see down here, there's a number. So there were 6 of the green dots and there were 3 of the red dots. Now, if I had made every one of these goals, the highest number that I could achieve on this page with all the goals, if I made green for everything, is 90. So it'd be 9 and then a 0, because there's 9 goals every single day. So that's the highest score I could have on a daily basis. Now the green dots, red dots, and the score, this is something that I came up with after a while. The original TikToker of this plan didn't have anything about keeping track of making it, not making it, keeping a score. That's all stuff that I developed. And that way, over time, I can always go back and look at my page. I don't have to look at each one of the goals. I can just look at the page and say, hey, this day I had a 63. This day I had a 79. I did pretty well. And you'll see some days I don't do so well. And some days I do. All right, now what I have done then, since the month is over, and I'm going to flip this sideways and I will show you this chart here. So what I have done across the bottom are the days of the month. And it just so happens that the journal that I am using to track all of this in has 31 lines in it. So I use the lines across the page as the days. So 1 through 31 are the days across the bottom. And then my scores 0 all the way up to 100. Now, I put 100 on there, but 90 really is the highest score I would ever have. So I don't really need that top line, but I had room, so I stuck it on there. And then what I did is I went through and I plotted my days. And you'll see I didn't do any of this process the first 9 days of the month. So I started on the 10th. So my first dot is on the 10th. Now this dot is a red dot. And what I have decided to do is that the line of 60 is really going to be my threshold. If I have any scores that are below 60, then I'm going to count that as a red dot or leaning towards I didn't make that day. Anything that's above 60 is going to have a green dot because I did well that day, and that's how I've decided to track it, and that's the threshold that I have set for myself. And so as you go through here and look, you'll see on the 10th, I think this was a 45 score, so I plotted 45, and then I had a 72, and then I had a 45, and then I had a 54, and so I plotted them all the way through, and so you can see what's happened here with my graph throughout the month. Now, it just so happens that once I was done, I added them up, and for the month, I had 11 that were green and 11 that were reds. I was even across the board. As I was plotting it out, I was thinking, oh, I have way more reds than I have greens, but as it turns out, they're equal. Now, of course, none of these here count in my overall score, but those are items that in the future, the month of April, I should have data for every single day in the month of April, as long as I can keep this up. And that's what's inside my little black book for the month of March. Now, there is something that I am not keeping track of in this book, but I am keeping track of. And that's my overall weight and how I'm doing on my weight. Now, there's a little bit of a story here behind that as well. And I think I've shared this in maybe 1 or 2 previous vlogs. I was taking Wegovy for a while, so that's one of the GLP-1 weight loss drugs. And I was on it for about 6 months. I did not like my experience taking Wegovy. There were a couple of issues that I had, just side effects that they were not pleasant. And interestingly enough, the last 2 months that I was on the Wegovy, I was on the highest prescription that I had been on. Now, it wasn't the highest prescription that you can get for Wegovy, but the last 2 months I was on the highest one. And my weight had already plateaued. I had lost a little bit, and then my weight had kind of plateaued those last 2 months. And then the last month, I started creeping back up. And I really hadn't changed anything as far as diet goes or things like that. And I was fasting. So I was doing fasting in the morning and fasting for lunch and then trying to eat a sensible dinner. Now, I didn't do that every single day. I do have a vlog. For the month of February, my wife and I had what we called our all-in challenge. So we were all in on our food, all in on our exercise, all in on our dieting, and all of our improvements. So February was our all-in month. And I gained weight. So gaining weight, plateauing as early as I did, not having an enjoyable experience as far as the side effects go, I decided that was going to be my last prescription and I wasn't going to do it anymore. And so I have given up on the Wegovy. Now, interestingly enough, this month, and I didn't start this right at the beginning of the month, I started a couple of weeks ago, where I'm having a more high-protein diet, less carbs. I have tried, and I haven't not succeeded every single day, but I have tried cutting out things that are sugary and things that like soda. So I don't, in my little black book, many of the days I have a goal of no soda, no sugar, no soda, no sugar, no soda, no sugar. And that was pretty much every single day when I started that journal tracking. And my belief on that was once I get to a point where not having any soda or not having any sugary treats is just my norm, then I will drop those off my list and I will come up with a new daily goal for that weight loss long-term goal. But right now, those are two things that always trip me up. I have been Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke-aholic the vast majority of my life. I have always had a diet soda with me. And I've been able to quit a few times in my life for short stretches or short periods of time. I have never been able to give it up completely. Right now, I'm in a pretty good spot where I am not drinking diet soda or any soda on a regular basis. And I have really been able to control my sweets. And so the last couple of weeks of just doing that, I've lost the weight that I had gained with Wegovy in the last couple of months. And so I'm 1 pound above where I was at my lowest point on Wegovy. And I'm not taking Wegovy, I'm just watching what I eat with the sugars and the sodas. So, but I'm not keeping track of that in my little black book. It's actually on an app on my phone. But I think that's what we're going to call it for today. I'm going to get this edited, get it staged for April 1st, and then I'm going to go get some rest because I need to get over this sickness and be able to function better. All right. Thank you very much. Hey, I love y'all. I really appreciate everybody's engagement. The views, the subscriptions, the comments, everything is fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow.